Hello, my name is Clint, and today we're testing what you get flying in European Business Class with SAS on a short flight today from Gothenburg to Copenhagen with an expected flight time of 45 minutes, meaning you will be in the air for only 30 minutes. I started the visit in the lounge. It's a decent-sized lounge with quite good offering. There's soft drinks, wine on tap, alcohol-free beer, coffee machine, some teas, juice, some gluten-free items. There are some computers, a work desk, a small children's playroom. Though I don't think I've ever seen any kids in there. But sometimes it's good when traveling with kids so they can just sit and draw and play a little. And during this time in the morning, breakfast was served with some bread, jams, cheese, muesli, yogurts, soft and hard bread. There is also oatmeal porridge, some eggs, and vegetables. I had some breakfast before my flight. Priority boarding for passengers traveling in business class is in group 2. This was followed very good by both the passengers and the crew. In priority group 1, Sky Team and SAS elite members come. We had to wait a little before being allowed to enter the plane. I had chosen row 9 today, which was the last row in business class. This is an A320. Today was quite many passengers flying in business class. 26 passengers. And you see the curtain behind the last row. This one is usually closed during normal time, but since this flight was so short, they never closed it. The table, standard table, there's still some leg room. 182 centimeters. There's a USB port for charging in the seat. Good feature, but you don't have that much time to charge your phone since you can only do it while in the air. On row 9, I only had partial window view. Turned out that on row 9 I was the only passenger, so I had no passenger next to me, and on the opposite row, neither. A good feature with the European Business Class is the blocked middle seat. You also have extra luggage. I did not need that today, but for some passengers that might come in handy. You also have priority security check, though today, a bit before 9 o'clock in the morning, there were only a few people before me, and in the regular security check, it was maybe 15-20 people, so it didn't save that much time, but especially in the morning hours, during rush hour, then it's much more valuable. Since our flight today left around 10 o'clock. the flight time was said to be 40 minutes, but with taxiing, the flight in the air is only about 30 minutes. There is a menu in the seat pocket, though I didn't see if anybody was buying anything, since in economy you don't know, but I think that people only took what was included, the tea and coffee for everybody. And I didn't see anybody use the toilet. Wi-Fi for business class passengers is not included, but usually on such a short flight, most people will anyway not need it. But if the flight will be a bit longer, you have to buy it. Here you can see what I got. Coffee in these nice new SAS branded cups, a small bottle of water, some salty cashew nuts, and a bar. They came around with a snack basket, and you could take that. There was also a sandwich that I did not take. Later on, after some maybe 15 minutes, they came around and asked if you wanted something else, like refill of the coffee, and then asked, oh, maybe you have a chocolate ball. Then they had a look and they didn't. So then instead they offered me another bar. The bar was quite good, though the cashew nuts are much tastier. It's nice to get a coffee in a real cup. So this is what you get. The priority security check, the extra luggage, the lounge. You come in boarding group 2. So that also means that you can be among the first passengers to leave the plane. What you get to eat is not that much. At the same time, you can say that it's a very short flight, but you still pay quite much of a premium for that. I would have liked to have some more items in the snack basket. At the same time, I understand that the more items you have, the bigger the basket must be, since they come around holding it in their hands. So since I was in row 9, there were not that many items left in the basket. I even think they had to go back to refill it after row 7, since otherwise I wouldn't have got anything. Quite many people took the sandwich, which is a fairly decent choice, normal sized sandwich. But since I had just eaten breakfast, I preferred more some snacks. Here you see arriving at Copenhagen Airport. On such a short flight, I don't think it's worth paying the premium for the business class, especially if you have SAS status and anyway can access the lounge, priority boarding and the like. But if you have an onboard flight in business class, then it's anyway a business class flight you get here. So then it's a much nicer experience than flying in economy. But I think most passengers will just fly economy. If you want to see some of my other videos, you can click the link in the picture right now or subscribe to my channel to see when more videos are released.